I'm not originally from there. I grew up in Chicago. So, you know, I came to Michigan a lot. And I think it's really, really weird. Like now that, you know, before I moved to Texas, everyone's like, why are you moving to Texas? Everything's weird down there. You're going to be surrounded by like Republicans and Baptists, you know, and, you know, I'm a school teacher, like, you know, you want the kids like ride their horses to school. And I get there and they're pretty normal, you know? And so then I'm living there for a while and I hear about like, you know, Detroit. And in my mind, like, I know Detroit's not like Michigan. It's not all of Michigan. But you hear about Detroit, and you see the pictures with like, you know, the trees growing through the books in the library, and you're like, what's going on? And in my mind, it's like, in my mind, all of Michigan is like Mad Max Terradome crossed with like Willow. Because Mad Max was very deserty, and I know that in my brain, I'm like, oh yeah, Michigan's very green. Mad Max, Terradome, and Willow. That's what it looks like, right? And so, like, I drive in today, and I go to Lansing, and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty normal, you know? And then I drive over to Flint, and I'm like, wow, this is really pretty and normal. There's business, it's thriving. It's like, it's not anarchy at all, you know? Which makes me wonder, like, I grew up, like, basically next door, and these are my misconceptions after, like, 8 years away. Which makes me wonder, what are my misconceptions about, like, other countries? You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyhow, but I'm glad to be here. One of my very good friends in Austin, Chad, is from here, so it feels weird to be here without Chad in his wheelchair rolling around. But I'm giving him a shout out on the video camera. So I fell off an overpass. I landed on the highway below, and that's why I have a service dog. This is Molly. You can pet her if you want. But I woke up in the hospital and I decided to make an album. It's called Sing Along Until You Feel Better, and this is the title track from it. I wonder what's wrong with me. The manufacturer's error on the assembly line. Or maybe I'm just born under a bad sign. Who knows? When I don't know what to do, I sing along until I feel better. I pick out a record that's familiar and sit between the speakers and sing along until I feel better. Do you ever feel the same? Like something's fundamentally flawed inside of you? Or any love that you might find is in spite of you? Well, I know when I don't know what to do, I sing along until I feel better. I pick out a record that's familiar and sit between the speakers and sing along until I feel better. Until I feel better. Until I feel better. Until you feel better. Yeah! Thanks. So as you can tell, I like the Beatles and the Beach Boys. I grew up on Motown. You know, fun fact, so Stevie Wonder, right? Like, Motown moves to LA. So I taught choir and I taught history of rock and I taught songwriting and recording. I just quit teaching to do this. Not a great career move. But I'm having a blast. At first I was scared shitless. Yeah, I haven't pooped in weeks. But now that I'm doing it, I feel much better. Everything's regular. I'm eating and pooping. That's good. But, oh yeah, so Stevie Wonder, right? He turns 21, he gets his inheritance. Berry Gordy actually saved him some money. What does he do? He goes to college. He goes to USC. He builds a studio and he goes to USC to study music theory. Why? Because he wants to write more like Paul McCartney. At 21, like, who's that mature at 21? Go Stevie Wonder. Alright, this next song's about an ex-girlfriend who I went to college and she banged all my friends. All of them. It's called Angie. Angie, I don't know what you've been up to, but darling, if I know you, you've been running games again. Telling lies so good that you believe that that's how you deceive. Getting underneath your skin. Every time you leave the boy, you swear that it isn't you. But when you run, you're giving up the game before you know it's won. Angie, don't you think it's kind of silly? Breaking out so easy. What if you
should you run out to the cruise outside and get Shelby? She's on a conference call outside. She's pregnant.
Every time you kiss a boy, you swear that it isn't love, but it's not love. You're just waiting for the one that you can really love. Every choice you think you make is just another heart that you're about to break. Every time you think you choose, you don't know what you lose. Angie, do you ever think about me? Every now and then I know you get along without me. I wonder where you've been, don't you know I can love you more than you.
I'm videotaping. I sent Danny to come and get you.
Thank you.
Just get out of your car. He's coming
So
outside.
for those of you that go all the cards because you have the album in it, sorry I screwed up the order of the lyrics.
What's that?
If you'd like to buy an album, I actually don't have CDs.
I know. I love you. I'll see you in a
just end
second.
up on the floorboards of trucks, and then they go to CD.
I just sent Danny.
But I do have download cards.
I was waiting for you for a
I also
second.
have T-shirts.
But I just sent Danny outside to bring Shelby in because she's been on a conference call in the car and she didn't want to walk in by herself.
This next song's about another ex-girlfriend.
I just sent her a message. I just called. I'm like, Danny's coming.
Really, you're exceptionally good at dating women?
No, but
you're exceptionally bad at dating women because I did a lot of them.
Until Shelby might want to sit down.
This one's called Don't Regina. Over the past few days I've been wondering what's been missing. It's a feeling I got when the two of us spent all our spare time kissing. So don't worry, Gina, I'm through with Ohio. I'm moving back to Chicago. I'm ready to take you, and I gotta say that without you around, I feel like I'm sinking deeper each day. So don't worry, Gina, I'm through with Ohio. I'm moving back to Chicago, and I'm tired of flying solo. Baby, if I could take back the things that I did to hurt you so bad, you know I would. So I'm leaving here tonight. I'm finally gonna set things right. 6 Volvo, I'm chugging down some espresso, and I ought to be back tomorrow. Don't worry, Gina, I'm through with Ohio, moving back to Chicago, and I'm tired of flying solo. Let me tell you. So, like, falling off an overpass is great if you want to, like, do a Kickstarter and raise some money. But it's hell on the back.
Those Austin overpasses, man, they're gnarly.
They're tall. Yeah.
Super tall.
45 feet is what they said.
I said 20 feet. Wow.
This is how I asked my ex-wife to marry me. Fortunately, she said yes. I know, it's a great joke. I use it like every show. It's still true. Stars in the countryside, walk barefoot through the grass. All I know is when I'm with you, never want this time to pass. Let's drive around in circles, kissing every red light. All I know is when I'm with you, everything is gonna be alright. Oh my love, put your hand in mine. No, it's in your eyes. I see love shine.
It just keeps getting bigger.
Oh my love, you know I just can't say how this love began, why it's here to stay. So let's sit out on the front porch, watch all the stars unfold. All I know is when we do, you're the one I want to know. Oh my love, put your hand in mine. I know it's in your eyes. I see love shine. Oh my love, you know I just can't say how this love began, why it's here.
Yeah, I haven't been here in years. It's way better. Really, yeah, it's nice to see. It looks pretty much the same, but way better to do. And I'd like to see, the group of people that are in here. Way better.
So if you got a wedding coming up and you want, come with it tonight for the
This is a song for his ex-wife. He said, Dina. Oh,
I'm going to play one that's not on the album. It's going to be on the 7-inch that's coming out. It's called Kingdom. Guess what it's about? A dude named Kimberly.
What do you say?
Another girl, man. Another girl.
Okay. Yeah, I know Kate too. She's a nice girl. is like right in the bar. It's like, oh, I gotta get closer.
Just as surely she receives. And if I could read her mind, I would give her what she needs. Oh, 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 give it when I come. Give her love to me. 'Cause I've been waiting patiently for I'm really a bassist. I can count on it every couple weeks or so. I can count on her to call when she's got nowhere to go.
Back in college.
So hopefully that'll be out by Christmas. It's recorded. If you've got my email or whatever, just email me and I'll send you the WAV file of it ahead of time so you can check it out. Let's see. This song's about a coworker who won't shut up. Well, I'm not a coworker anymore because I quit my job.
Yeah, fuck work.
I do what I want. Dude, it's not good paid and stuff. That's okay, because I can stand to lose about a third grade. It's like he's just hanging out with both arms, like, Phil, I love you. I'm like, go ahead. We're going on tour, third grader. Here we go. The song's called Talk. Talk, 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 talk. All you do is talk. Conversation, something that you don't allow. Talk, 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 talk. All you do is talk. I don't think you ever really shut your mouth. You don't see it coming. I see it now. I'm amazing to realize you don't even listen half of the time. You just talk in your voice. People don't give you the time of day. They know you don't listen anyway. You like the sound of that, you got to stay. Just talk in your voice. Talk, 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 talk. All you do is talk. Conversation, something that you don't allow. Talk, going back to Cleveland was weird. I went to college there. And, yeah, like I like it, don't get me wrong, it's a great town, people are really nice and whatever, just like pretty much anywhere in the Midwest. But there's things that are weird, like I'm driving through, like, I guess Toledo on my way up here, and it was something like National Catholic Veterans of World War II Memorial Highway. I'm like, that's awfully specific. You know? Like, and yet you go down towards like Cincinnati and it's like Kenneth Babyface Edmonds Highway. Also specific. I didn't really see any memorial highways up here, and I think I like it. I'm sure they're there, I just don't know. This song's called Nothing Is Connected.